Richard the Lionheart, born on September 8, 1157 in Oxford, England, emerged as one of the most iconic figures of the medieval period, a king whose life was marked by valor, military prowess, and a spirit of adventure. He was the third son of King Henry II of England and Eleanor of Aquitaine, a formidable couple whose influence shaped the political landscape of Europe. Richard's early years were spent in a court that was rife with political intrigue and familial discord. But it was the call of the Crusade that would define his reign and legacy. From an early age, Richard was groomed for leadership. He was a child of the Plantagenet dynasty, a lineage that stretched across vast territories in England and France. His mother, Eleanor, was a powerful figure in her own right, having been Queen Consort of France before marrying Henry II. Richard's upbringing was steeped in the ideals of chivalry and knighthood, and he quickly developed a reputation as a skilled warrior and a charismatic leader. By the time he ascended to the throne in 1189, following the death of his father, he was already a figure of considerable renown among the nobility and the common folk alike. Richard's reign was marked by his fervent commitment to the crusading cause. The Third Crusade, which began in 1189, was launched in response to the capture of Jerusalem by the Muslim leader Saladin. Richard, alongside other prominent leaders like Philip II of France and Frederick Barbarossa of the Holy Roman Empire, set out to reclaim the Holy City. What followed was a series of remarkable military campaigns that showcased Richard's strategic brilliance and unyielding determination. One of the most notable battles of the Third Crusade was the Siege of Acre in 1191. Richard's forces, bolstered by a coalition of knights and soldiers from various European territories, laid siege to the city for nearly 2 years. The siege was a grueling affair, marked by fierce combat and significant casualties on both sides. Richard's leadership during this time was instrumental. He demonstrated not only military acumen, but also the ability to inspire those around him. His daring tactics, including the use of siege engines, and his willingness to lead from the front, earned him the admiration of his troops and solidified his reputation as a warrior king. After the successful capture of Acre, Richard's forces continued their campaign towards Jerusalem. The march towards the Holy City was fraught with challenges, including supply shortages and skirmishes with Saladin's forces. Yet Richard's resolve remained unshaken. He engaged in a series of battles, including the Battle of Arsuf, where his cavalry charged against the Muslim forces in a decisive encounter. The victory at Arsuf was a testament to Richard's military genius, showcasing his ability to rally his troops and execute a well-coordinated assault. However, despite these victories, the ultimate goal of reclaiming Jerusalem eluded him. The city remained under Saladin's control, and negotiations eventually led to a truce, allowing Christian pilgrims access to the holy sites. Richard's return to England in 1194 was not marked by the triumphant fanfare one might expect from a victorious king. Instead, he found his kingdom in disarray. His absence had allowed his brother, John, to seize power and undermine Richard's authority. The political landscape was tumultuous, with various factions vying for control. Richard's reign was characterized by a constant struggle to maintain his power and address the grievances of his subjects. He implemented reforms aimed at strengthening royal authority and curbing the influence of rebellious barons. But the challenges of governance were compounded by the financial strains imposed by his military campaigns. Despite the political turmoil, Richard's legacy as a military leader and a symbol of chivalry endured. His reputation as Richard the Lionheart was not merely a reflection of his prowess in battle, but also an embodiment of the ideals of knighthood that permeated medieval society. He became a figure of romanticized legend, a king who embodied courage, honor, and the noble pursuit of glory. Tales of his exploits spread throughout Europe, inspiring countless stories, songs, and legends. The image of Richard as a noble warrior, fighting for the faith and the honor of Christendom, became entrenched in the collective memory of the age. Richard's life was not without its personal trials. His marriage to Berengaria of Navarre was politically motivated, aimed at securing alliances rather than based on love. The couple spent little time together, and Richard's devotion to his military campaigns often overshadowed his marital duties. Nonetheless, Berengaria remained a loyal companion, accompanying Richard on his crusade and supporting him during his reign. Their union, while lacking the romantic ideal, produced a legacy that would endure through their descendants. In 1199, Richard's reign came to an abrupt end when he was mortally wounded during a siege at Chaluz-Chabrol in France. The circumstances of his death were as dramatic as his life. He was struck by a crossbow bolt while inspecting the defenses of the castle. Even in his final moments, Richard displayed the bravery that had defined his life. He reportedly forgave the soldier who had shot him and expressed concern for the future of his kingdom. His death marked the end of an era and left a significant impact on the political landscape of Europe. Richard's legacy continued to resonate long after his death. He was buried in the Cathedral of Rouen, and his heart was interred in the Holy Land, a testament to his unwavering commitment to the crusading cause. His reign and exploits became the stuff of legend, inspiring generations of knights and rulers who sought to emulate his chivalric ideals. In the centuries following his death, Richard the Lionheart was often romanticized as a paragon of virtue and heroism. His image became intertwined with the ideals of chivalry, and he was frequently depicted as a noble king who fought valiantly for the Christian cause. This portrayal was not without its complexities. While Richard was celebrated for his military achievements, his reign also reflected the brutal realities of medieval warfare and the political machinations of the time. The legacy of Richard the Lionheart thus serves as a reminder of the duality of heroism, a blend of valor and the harsh truths of power. Richard's impact on medieval history is profound. His reign exemplified the tensions between monarchy and nobility, the complexities of feudal allegiances, and the fervent religious zeal that characterized the crusading era. His military campaigns influenced the course of the Crusades, shaping the interactions between Christian and Muslim powers in the region. The legacy of the Third Crusade, marked by Richard's leadership, continued to affect the geopolitical dynamics of the Middle East for centuries. Moreover, Richard's life and reign contributed to the evolving concept of kingship in medieval Europe. He embodied the ideal of the warrior king, a ruler who led by example and earned the loyalty of his subjects through feats of bravery and prowess. His reign also highlighted the challenges of governance in a time of political fragmentation, where the authority of the crown was constantly tested by rival factions and the ambitions of powerful nobles. Richard's struggles to maintain control over his kingdom foreshadowed the challenges that would confront subsequent monarchs in England and beyond. In the broader context of European history, Richard the Lionheart stands as a symbol of the medieval spirit, a time of conflict, faith, and the relentless pursuit of glory. The tales of his exploits continue to captivate the imagination, serving as a reminder of the enduring allure of chivalric ideals and the indomitable spirit of a king who sought to carve his name into the annals of history. As centuries passed, Richard's legacy evolved, intertwining with the cultural and political narratives of different eras. In the Victorian period, for instance, he was revived as a national hero, a figure who embodied the virtues of bravery and honor that were celebrated in British society. His image was romanticized in literature and art, reinforcing the notion of the noble king who fought for righteousness and justice. This revival was part of a broader trend in which historical figures were reinterpreted to fit contemporary ideals and values. Richard's impact extended beyond England. He became a figure of fascination across Europe and the Middle East. His reputation as a chivalric hero transcended borders, influencing the way leaders and warriors were perceived in various cultures. The stories of his battles and his encounters with Saladin became emblematic of the larger conflict between Christianity and Islam, shaping perceptions of both leaders in the historical narrative. In modern times, Richard the Lionheart has been the subject of numerous historical analyses, novels, films, and television series. His life continues to be dissected by historians seeking to understand the complexities of his reign and the socio-political dynamics of the time. The enduring fascination with Richard reflects not only his achievements as a military leader, but also the timeless themes of heroism, sacrifice, and the quest for identity that resonate through the ages. Richard the Lionheart's legacy endures as a testament to the complexities of leadership, the allure of adventure, and the enduring human spirit. He remains a symbol of courage and determination, a figure whose life story continues to inspire and captivate the imagination. In the grand tapestry of history, Richard stands as a reminder of the heights of ambition and the depths of conflict that characterize the human experience, a lion-hearted king whose roar echoes through the corridors of time.